Welcome to the Women Talk podcast, where ordinary women share their extraordinary stories. We would love for you to share your story on our podcast. Go to www.womentalk.ca and apply to share your story. And now let's welcome your host, founder, and CEO of Women Talk, Bridget Lessard-Diel.
Welcome back to the Women Talk Show, where women make their communities stronger, one story at a time. Earning with pride and passion. Sheree Agerskov has been an entrepreneur for 30 years. Her current passion is building a business that is all natural and organic, using two ancient methods of hair removal: sugaring and threading. Now, she is absolutely passionate about her work, and it is absolutely fascinating to listen to her describe what she does and why she does it. Let's listen to Sheree's story.
I never would have thought that arriving into my 50s that I would become known as the queen of the sugared Brazilian. So a little bit of backstory. I've been doing it for about 4 years. I've always been an entrepreneur for the last 30 years, farmed for 20, computer business. I've had a retail store. So I really do believe I'm probably not that employable. And after a 20-year marriage, I had a retail store that was not doing very well. And at the same time, being in a very abusive relationship that lasted 4 years, I closed my store and got out of that relationship and found myself with zero income, and I really believed zero skills, and the biggest thing was zero self-confidence and very low self-esteem. Anybody that's been in an abusive relationship can probably relate to how it beats you down to this place of total unworthiness. So I did muster up enough gumption to take some investment money, and I decided I needed to invest in myself, recreate myself, and create something that was going to bring me in some income without spending too much money. So I had a little bit of interest in some of the aesthetics, and so I took one course. I believe it was facials, my first one. I fell in love with it, and I did really well, and actually even passed that with honors, and I started to realize that, oh, maybe I am a little bit bright. That gave me a little more confidence, and I started taking more courses. And I think what I fell into was this place of learning without earning, because I really believed I needed to know even more. I still didn't have that confidence that, why would anybody pay me? So I had to keep getting all these certificates. And then finally, what happened, I believe the last one I took was sugaring. And I just happened to be having a visit with a girlfriend, and she says, you need to take sugaring, and then you could do my Brazilians. I wouldn't have to go to the city. And I got to say that I was a waxer already. I was doing some waxing out of my home. And when I took that course, I swore there was no way I was taking the Brazilian course. I wasn't going to be going that down under area. And I thought, well, what the heck? Maybe I explored sugaring, and I actually fell in love with sugaring, the idea of it, because it's all natural, and anybody that knows me knows that everything is about all natural and organic. So I took the sugaring course and decided, what the heck, I'm going to do the Brazilian course. And I fell in love with it. And today I do upwards of 100 Brazilians in a month, and it's pretty much all I do. So I specialize in the Brazilian, and I specialize as well in brows, because the other thing that I do is threading. So after taking all those courses, I realized that I could be, mediocre at all those different things, or I could be just really good and specialize. And so that's where I ended up, is specializing in sugaring, but specifically in brows and Brazilians. And that's pretty much where I am today. I absolutely love it.
Do you want more out of Women Talk? Sign up for our Women Talk membership today. Receive discounts at all of our live events, talk on more stages, receive free monthly webinars, or host a webinar yourself. Join this powerful sisterhood we call Women Talk. Visit womentalk.ca/membership to join at 70% off for a limited time only.
Brazilian.
Yes. Yes.
Now, had you ever had a Brazilian before you decided that was going to be it for you?
No, I'd never even had a Brazilian. Now, I had tried to shave that area, as many women do, shave that area once or twice. And that is just the most miserable feeling when that coarse hair starts to grow in. It's horrible. But when I decided, okay, I'm taking the Brazilian course, well, I'm pretty much through the Brazilian course, and then the instructor gives me my first Brazilian. Because I thought, well, if I'm going to be doing Brazilians, I need to know what this feels like. I need to do one. And I have never missed now in the last 4 years. I even do my own Brazilians now. It's just, so if you're a shaver, you got to try the sugared Brazilian. You will divorce that razor, I promise.
Now, does it hurt?
Well, okay. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. We're ripping hair out by the roots.
Oh,
so if you've
I'm
ever
like feeling a little sweaty right now.
Oh yes, it does cause a little bit of sweating. Pain causes sweating. But if anybody's had any waxing done, I will say that it hurts less than waxing, because wax actually adheres to the live skin cells. And so when you get waxed, it's taking a layer of skin off. With sugar, it's only adhering to dead skin cells, and it does a nice exfoliation, but it doesn't take any of your live skin off. So it doesn't hurt as much. As soon as we're done, there's no pain. Whereas with wax, it's a couple of days. So with your very first Brazilian, that is by far the worst. You have to get through the first one. I work really hard with you. I do things like a numbing spray, and I talk you through it. I make sure you're breathing well. You're not doing a shallow breathing, because that's going to affect
or crying,
your
or crying, or screaming like a baby.
Yeah. But I don't just go in there and I work with you. I for the very first one, we take our time, and I promise I get you through that first Brazilian.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you got to tell me, before we get more into the detail of the actual doing it, is it really sugar in the mixture?
Yeah, so sugaring, a lot of people don't realize this. Sugar has been around. This method of hair removal has been around for over 4,000 years. The ancient Egyptians, it was a sign of the upper class to have no body hair. And
so this has been going on for thousands of years, to not wanting to have hair.
Cleopatra did this. And so it's a sugar paste that's made of sugar, water, and a little bit of lemon juice. And that's it. And it's cooked on the stove.
Lemon juice? That makes
it. Lemon, squeeze lemon into it. And it's just the tiniest bit.
Because you think, when you have a cut and you get lemon on there.
No,
OMG.
You don't notice. There's not enough lemon in there to have any, to feel anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's mostly the sugar. And it creates this paste, and then it's done by hand molding. I just take a small ball of sugar and on the ends of my fingers, and then I mold it over the skin. And then I just flick it off. And then that ball of sugar, I use it for the entire Brazilian, the same ball of sugar. So it gets built, the hair gets trapped in it, and that's it. I use one ball of sugar. It's not like wax where you spread it on and use the cotton strips, but it has been around for a very long time. I kind of figure, why fix what's not broke? Wax was actually developed. It's a byproduct of the oil and gas industry. And we all know the oil and gas industry has a lot of byproducts that they're always looking for new products to create and creates more profit for oil and gas industry. And it's all chemical. So when we're using wax, we're putting chemical on our body that is absorbed through the skin and into the system. And so this is why I really love sugar, because it's all natural, it's organic, and it's been around for over 4,000 years.
Wow. Now, I want to go through the first time somebody walks in, like, it's got to be uncomfortable. Like, do you strip down to nothing? Like, you take everything off?
So what I do is I have them go in the room, and I have them from the waist down take their clothes off, but I give them a towel to cover. And so for your first one, and then I will use a numbing spray on the area. So I'll spray a little bit of the numbing spray on. This is for your first one only, and then cover you back up. And then I spend 5 minutes just really talking and educating the client, educating them about, if they are anxious, how it's going to affect the pain, how to breathe well. And we work together. Do
people actually want to sit there and talk about it?
I don't know how much they're absorbing, which is why I give them a pamphlet, but I'm educating them and letting them know what to expect and exactly how I'm going to go about it, because I may go over one area and then there's some hair left behind. Now, because it's sugar, I can go back to that area. Wax, you could never do that. So I might have to go over an area twice to get all the hair, but I'll let them know, okay, so then now when I go back here, there's actually only 4 or 5 hairs. So it's not going to be as, painful as the last one. So I'm constantly letting them know exactly what to expect. And I think that helps them feel more comfortable. When you're laying there and you don't know what to expect, well, it's going to make it not as nice an experience. But I think they also get to a place where they really trust me. I am very professional. I'm very comfortable doing what I'm doing. And so when I'm that comfortable, I think it makes them feel more comfortable. It totally must, because I have like 5-6 new clients like every week or so, and it's all referral.
And you live in a small town.
I do. I live in Strathmore, Alberta.
That is crazy. Now, tell me, what was the most, like, have you ever had, so do you do both men and women?
I do men as well.
Who's tougher? I want to know, who is tougher? Who cries the most, men or women?
Well, I don't have as many men clients for sure, but, and this is something that I always tell my clients, my first time clients, women, I let them know this, the first one is the worst, but I'm going to get you through it. I said, you're built to have children. You can do this. You've had children. You can do this. So man, I can't do that. But so I really do believe women are, we're wired to handle higher pain, definitely. Than men. Now, all of my men clients that I have, my male clients, they are either a husband or a boyfriend of my regulars. So that's how, I live in Redneck, Alberta. I'm in a farming community.
I know. So, I can't believe you do that many Brazilian in a farming community. I don't know why. I just assume that a lot of people would not even be interested in that. And why do people get Brazilian? Why? What's the main reason?
I think it's just
cosmetic or comfort, or
people like that clean, bare feeling. And it is a much cleaner feeling. When we sweat, we feel it. When we have hair, when we have our menses once a month, it's just so much cleaner feeling. And to be honest, our husbands and boyfriends like like it as well. So yes, I'm definitely. I like to believe that I'm ramping up some sex lives.
Well, there you go. I love it. Now tell me, have you ever had like an embarrassing or uncomfortable moment, a story that you want to share?
I think it may be embarrassing for my clients, but I'm never embarrassed. And so maybe that helps them feel more comfortable. There's the odd time that, say, I'm doing a Brazilian, and I don't like to tell people that when you get a Brazilian, like people that have never had one, I don't want to discourage them, but when you get a Brazilian, I do the backside as well, which is, around the anal area. And often when I'm doing a Brazilian, or not often, but sometimes people might let a little gas go. So then they're embarrassed. I'm like, don't worry about it. This happens.
Oh my gosh, I can just feel people right now kind of squirming in their chairs as they're listening. Now, how did you ever get so liberal and comfortable with all of this? Because let's face it, most people would not be comfortable talking about all this stuff. How did you get there? Are you
Hello.
back? Yeah,
I'm back. Sorry.
totally.
Where did it cut off?
Okay, so let's start over. What was my question? Was I asking
if the embarrassing moments?
Yeah, so we went over that, and then
did you get all of that?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I had started my next question.
Okay.
Okay. Did I say how did you ever get so comfortable with this?
No, I didn't.
Okay,
I finished
that's
talking,
where I was.
and I was still talking, and you were gone.
Okay. So how did you ever get so comfortable with all of this? Because like most people, are totally uncomfortable about the whole idea, never mind talking about it publicly. Like, what took you there? How did you get there? Or were you always that comfortable with nakedness and waxing and sugaring?
Oh, well, I will say that no, I wasn't always that comfortable with nakedness. Definitely not. I think maybe what happened is I came into that age of my 50s and got to a place where we developed more confidence. We're more comfortable with who we are. And I had been doing a lot of work. I had been building up my confidence coming from that very abusive relationship. And I started to have more belief in myself because I had been doing so much work on me. And when I made that decision, I was going to do Brazilians. I mean, it was a little bit awkward in the beginning because I wasn't as good at it. Then it just got easier, and I knew I was good. And probably because I was so passionate about it, I loved sugaring. I loved everything about sugaring. And it wasn't long after I started all that I was introduced to Women Talk. And of course, Women Talk definitely changed my life as far as my confidence and believing in myself.
So what do you tell people when they ask you, what do you do?
I tell them I do sugar hair removal. I do only natural and organic hair removal that has been around for a long time. And I let people know I specialize in brows and Brazilians.
do people always know what Brazilian is?
I think yes. It's not very often I've run into somebody that doesn't know what a Brazilian is. And
have you ever had a negative reaction?
No, I can't say that I ever have. If I have, I probably just didn't even notice it because I'm actually, I feel really, I think it's because I love it so much. And when we really love what we're doing, then it's just so much easier to talk about it. I mean, we've all heard about people that say maybe it's the garbage collector. There's always that one that loves what he's doing and is joyful. And I feel like that person. I found
you're the joyful joyful Brazilian girl.
I guess so.
But I just do. I love how you talk about it, and you're so proud and so happy, and really you do, like, you give people, you serve people, and make them feel comfortable.
Well, and it's true. I always have this feeling, I've always had this feeling that I should be doing something great, and that, I put myself below other people. Like, and with Women Talk, I see so many people that are doing these wonderful, they're coaches, and they're helping people. And I've come to this place where I realize, you know what, I am being of service, and I need to be proud of that, because I do provide a service that there is obviously a need for, and I may as well be really good at it and enjoy it. And people love it.
I know, and
they
I
come
love
every month.
And I love how you're so proud of your products too, because the way you talk about it's all natural. And so, do you research? Is there different kind of sugaring, or
I
is
do.
just one way of doing it?
Yeah, well, research, yes, I am a little bit of a research junkie. And there is different ways of doing it. There are people that have developed a more waxing style, where they'll spread the wax or the sugar on thin with a stick like they do wax, and then use a strip to take it off. Often this is a sugar that does have wax in it. So I stay away from all of that. I only do the traditional ancient method of the hand molding.
Fascinating. And did you go to school for that? Or where do you learn to do Brazilians?
Yeah, I went to an aesthetics place where it's a aesthetics institution where that's what they teach, is all the aesthetics. And there's a lot to learn when you're taking, say you just want to learn how to do gel nails. It's a lot to learn. You need to learn about all the diseases, and you need to learn about the body, and how, in sugaring, for example, you need to know about how skin grows from underneath all the way up, and understand cells and cell division, and, and sloughing off the dead skin cells. So there is a lot to know. And that's when I discovered, because actually, I dropped out of school when I was 15 years old because I had to leave home because my home environment wasn't good. And so I've always felt, I've always lied about my education because I've been embarrassed and ashamed. Well, I'm not ashamed anymore. I've learned that I'm actually quite bright and intelligent. And so I'm proud of what I do, because it's not something you just, do without education.
Well, and you're a professional at it. Like, you take it very seriously.
I do take it very seriously. Yeah,
So
I want my clients.
What's on your Brazilian bucket list for the future?
For the future, well, I have been kind of redesigning my business. I haven't implemented a lot of things yet, but I am growing. I do want to grow. I want to start educating. And that's kind of in the works. I'm working with another girl right now, and hopefully we can get it together, that I will start teaching other people how to do this and how to create a business. And I would like to expand my business, bring on somebody to start with, so that I don't necessarily need to be there all the time. It is actually a little hard on my body, and I want to start easing into more of a little more relaxed life here.
More of a coach kind of, or teacher.
Yes.
Now, can people do their own Brazilians?
A lot of people, well, I shouldn't say a lot of people do, but some people do. I can do my own Brazilian, but I choose not to, because, really, I don't like getting into a contortionist position.
The pretzel position.
Yeah, and trying to do my own Brazilian. So I actually just trade services with another sugarista here in town.
That is just absolutely fascinating information. So if people want to find you, Sheree, what's the name of your business, and where can they find you online?
Okay, so I am online at livebeautifulsugaring.com, and it's L-I-V. There is no
Stop,
E
stop,
on the end.
stop. It's really cutting out right now. So we're going to start
okay.
again. So tell me, if people want to find out more about you and your business, where can they find you? What's the name of your business?
So I am called Live Beautiful Sugaring, and it's L-I-V without an E on the end. And I am on Facebook, Live Beautiful Sugaring, and you can even book with me right online there. And then I also have a website that does, I think, need a little bit of updating, but the same, livebeautifulsugaring.com, L-I-V.
And you're located in Strathmore, Alberta.
Strathmore, yes. And I do have people that travel to me. I have a large farming community, so they travel. I have one that travels an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I do take a lot of clients from out of town. Yeah.
Fascinating. Okay, so thank you. That was fascinating. Who knew we could have a 20-minute conversation about Brazilians and be full of information?
Right? I know.
Well, thank you very much, and keep on Brazilian.
I will.
Thank you, Sheree. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
If you have a burning desire to share your story with our audience, apply to be on our podcast. To apply and find a full list of our podcasts, go to www.womentalk.ca.